Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And I was saying today we're going to be talking about these damn Clippers, but before we even get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi. My handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow the channel on Instagram, same name as the channel, Dreamers Pro. And also, if you want today's full show before it comes out, it is streaming for free on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we have that pinned in the comment section below. Let me go ahead and get into this topic here. So, I've been wanting to talk about the Clippers over the last few days, but there have been other stories that I believe were much more important. So I kind of pushed it to the back burner. Yesterday, I put out a comment on the community section, of the channel, where I said that, okay, I'm going to be talking about Kawhi Leonard and these guys. So, as you guys know, the Clippers had a rough stretch early in this season after the James Harden acquisition. After acquiring him, the team went on to lose 6 games in a row, and 5 games with him in a row, or 4 or 6 in total, whatever. They lost a lot of games. And then the news came out, which we covered, that Russell Westbrook had elected that he will come off the bench. A move that many of us praised, including me. I was very excited to hear this, because I felt that having Russell Westbrook and James Harden in the starting lineup was a bad fit. I just didn't see how it was going to work. And the minute that they moved Russell Westbrook to the bench, they ended up winning 3 games in a row. But recently, the Clippers suffered an extremely embarrassing loss against the Denver Nuggets. Now, here's what's interesting is that game. As you guys know, some of you may be aware, I'm currently in the UK, so there's a time difference. And when I found out that the Clippers were going to be playing the Denver Nuggets, I didn't even bother to watch the game. I did not even bother to watch the game because I already knew they were going to lose. I had the feeling they're going to lose. So what happened? The Clippers go into that game. They blow an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they end up losing that game 113-104. Now, here's what makes it worse. In that game, Nikola Jokic did not play. Jamal Murray did not play, and the Clippers still found a way. They still found a way to lose that game. Kawhi Leonard played well, kind of. He only shot 38% from the field. Paul George was abysmal. He only scored 6 points in that game. But Paul George has been playing well as of recent. And if you look at the NBA standings as we speak, the Clippers currently find themselves in the 11th spot in the Western Conference, behind the Warriors, behind the Pelicans, Rockets, and the Lakers, right? And after that loss, NBA fans went to Twitter. They took to Twitter to let their feelings be known on what they had just witnessed from the Clippers after they suffered an absolutely embarrassing loss to the Denver Nuggets without Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Somebody said, send the Clippers to the G League, laughing my butt off. A few other people said other things where they were essentially just laughing at the team and just laughing at the disgrace that the Clippers have become. Another person said the Clippers stink. Another person said Harden really sunk this team. They were riding high before him. Another person said Paul George and James Harden are frauds. And I think Bill Simmons said the Clippers traded all their picks in the 2020s to create a play-in team that can't defend point guards and big guys. So you heard what they said on Twitter there. I also came across another article for FadeawayWorld.net where it says Kawhi Leonard is currently having one of the worst seasons of his NBA career. It's safe to say that we have not seen the best of Kawhi Leonard in the 23-24 NBA season. The Los Angeles Clippers star has struggled on the court, and the numbers he has put up in his campaign actually make it one of the worst of his career. This year, he is averaging 20 points. Well, actually, Kawhi Leonard this season is averaging 21.1 points per game on 45% shooting, 37% from the 3. He's getting you 5.6 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 1.7 steals. Kawhi Leonard is not playing very well this year, and I think the reason that is because Kawhi also experienced the worst losing streak he has ever experienced in his NBA career over this period. Listen, this Clippers team, I think they had something going when they had Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup. The data proved that they had one of the best 3-man lineups in the entire NBA in terms of effectiveness. They made the trade. They removed Russell Westbrook out of the starting lineup to bring in James Harden. James Harden has some pluses and minuses, but I think that what's happened is that the Clippers have I think they've ruined their chemistry somehow. I think they took something that was working and they broke it. And now they're trying to fix it. I think that they saw in James Harden the tremendous upside that, okay, if this works, we now have 4 all-stars on the team. And I don't think that they weighed the opposite side of it of what if it goes wrong? What would that look like? And I think that's what we're seeing here. I think there's also issues at the coaching spot where there have been various reports, some even by Stephen A. Smith, where he said that he believes that Ty Lue doesn't even want to be there. That Ty Lue wanted to go, I believe, coach the Phoenix Suns because he got fed up with all of the low management and all of these things. Now, here's what's interesting about Kawhi and this team. Kawhi Leonard this year has actually played every single game. He's played every single game for the Clippers. He's not missed a single game. So it has nothing to do with his commitment on the court. I just think that things aren't clicking properly. And I think that the Clippers need to be one of these teams that act quickly and realizes that if a change needs to be made, they make it quickly. Because as we speak right now, their record is who they are. What their record says is who they are. Right now, they're not even a play-in team. They're not even a play-in team. They've won 4 out of their last 6. And I think they're going to be playing another game tonight that quite frankly, if I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't even be surprised if they lose. I frankly wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers lost this game. I think tonight they're going to be playing, let me see the team they're going to be playing tonight. Tonight they're going to be playing the Sacramento Kings, who just had a pretty big comeback win against the Golden State Warriors. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers lose this game. And that is a sobering position to be taken on this team, given all of the expectations that they had. That's number one. Number two, let's talk about this Kawhi thing and this experiment overall. I think that if we look at this with a critical eye, and if we're being honest, this thing has been a disaster. And I'll tell you why. The reason the Kawhi Leonard move to LA has been a disaster is because of the expectations that were there before he came. When Kawhi and Paul George joined the Clippers, they were expected to be a championship team. As a matter of fact, a good amount of people out there picked them, including me, to win that championship that very season that team was formed. But then what happened? They head into the Orlando bubble. They blow a 3-1 lead. They lose. Doc Rivers gets fired. And then from that point forward, it's been one disappointment after the other. With stars missing an entire year, people not playing. And of course, last year, where you had Kawhi Leonard and going into the playoffs, Paul George gets injured and Kawhi Leonard gets injured in game 1. And that's the end of their season. To me, this thing has been a disaster. It's been a disappointment, and it has not worked. And if it doesn't work, this should go down as one of the biggest failures on the resumes of all of these guys that are involved. I'm not going to include Russell Westbrook. I think it should fall more on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, especially with some of the recent moves that they've been making by signing off on some of these moves, especially the James Harden one. He has to be culpable to some extent. You can't just skate through. So there's that reality as well. And I can't help but think to myself, man, what would have happened if Kawhi Leonard stayed in Toronto? The thing that happened at the time was, I believe Kawhi wanted Toronto to trade Pascal Siakam, Masai Ujiri to trade Pascal Siakam for Paul George. And I think Pascal Siakam and Masai Ujiri at the time was against that trade. And a lot of people believe if Kawhi Leonard has stayed in Toronto, could he have won a second championship? I think they could have had a legitimate shot under Nick Nurse, and they ran that crew back. To me, man, if the Clippers don't make it to the finals, it's a failure, and I think they need to blow up this team. I don't want to see another iteration. I'm not even watching Clippers games this year, to be honest with you, because I don't have the strength to be disappointed and frustrated. So I've completely checked out. I'm not interested in being pissed off and watching this team. I'm just not, man. I'm not following most of these games. I'm just kind of following it lightly because it's been quite a bit of a drag for me this NBA season. But these are my thoughts. So what I want to know from you guys, how much of a role do you think Kawhi Leonard has to play with the way things have turned out for the Clippers? And number two, do you think they're going to be able to turn this thing around as time goes on? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We'll catch you on the next show. Peace.